Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Supernatural Strength Channel, Neil Pickup here in the mother fluffing house. And it's another of the Scandi Connection. It's all about the Norwegians today. But it's the second part of Relentless, Frode Haugland, who is showing loyalty there. Look at that, eh? He's trooping the colour, his old WAL shirt on there. And it's topical and it's spot on because today we're going to be talking more about your World Arm Wrestling League career, matches, experiences to date, mate. But, before we do so, we got a little bit of unfinished business, Frode Haugland. A couple of kids came up. We had questions. You know how we said in the last one? Questions, comments, PM the questions. Well, guess what? We got questions in the comments and the PM the questions. First out of the gate was Lars Rob Vigeant of Norway. Mate, when are you going to get a super match on with Lars Rob Vigeant? Because he thinks he's got your ass and you don't think that's the case. It's like fun to me. It's like you can't travel outside. Norwegian's very own super match series. I mean, let's be honest, you can't lose that because Lars is such a powerful lad and such a big bloke. Former professional strongman.
Yeah.
You know, trains in a cave. Yeah. The man actually trains in a cave. But he's a rock, isn't he? He's strong as hell.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
So let's just sort of put a bit of emphasis on that, mate. How often have yourself and Lars pulled?
Never in competitions, but we pulled a lot in training to prepare him for the match with all these matches really in Arm Wars, Australia, and yeah.
Do you lads live quite close together then?
It's a good hour drive, I think.
About an hour away. So yeah. In terms of sort of your location within Norway, most of the top Norwegian arm wrestlers tend to be around where you are, is that right?
Yeah, I have, well, there's just maybe two that aren't close enough to go in a day's travel.
So who are your main training partners, sort of week in, week out, mate? Who do you train with most frequently?
Old
He's still active now, and he's still going. Jesus Christ, he must be nearly as old as Pascal.
Yeah. He's 65 or 66, I think.
65, what a rock, what a dude.
Yeah. If I can look as good as he does at that age, I will be...
Mate, you pass on your best to Arnie when you see him. I love that guy, he's ace. If you've never met Arnie, what a top guy. He's just a lovely bloke, isn't he? He's just a really solid, nice guy. That's inspiring, actually, to hear that he's still doing his thing. Because he pulls on material, doesn't he? You know, he pulls hook, he gets dug in, and wow.
It's all about the power.
It is, isn't it? It's all about the power. Get out into the bloody fjords and catch a frigging big cod or something and eat it.
Yeah.
That's how you roll, son. So, mate, the second thing that came up, more of a serious point, this one. Mm-hmm. So many people so shocked about what you told them that you had effectively partial paralysis for some of your younger life. Just give us a bit more background on that, mate. What actually happened with how did that come about? It was curvature in your spine, is that right?
Yeah, I was born with it, so that's where it came from.
Just sort of weighed down by that massive forearm on one side. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. It's what can I say about it? It's it's gone.
Were you very conscious of it when you were
young
in your life, or once you? Because I know you had corrective surgery. After that, has it ever troubled you, bothered you? You know, do you feel it like? I have various joint rebuilds on my right arm, and it's almost like a weather barometer. If I go out now, I can feel if it's a few degrees colder, my arm struggles. You know, it sort of seizes up and aches. Just does. So, have you had anything like that through your life, mate? Do you sort of get up in the morning and struggle?
Never. I struggle with lifting. What's it called?
Like deadlift.
Deadlift. Yes.
Yeah.
I can't do that heavy. So, but that's just because the spine is weak in my lower back. I struggle still with my left foot because that only works from the knee and down. It's about 50% functional.
Okay.
Still, so that's the only thing I really have left from that.
And you were what, about 6 years old? You were saying,
Yes.
when that was at its peak or the worst experience.
Yeah.
So must have been quite a scary or traumatic thing. Do you still think about it now, or not? Were you not as sort of conscious of it?
No, because when I was that young, that was normal to me to be that stiff, you know, or it got slowly more and more stiff. So for me, it didn't bother me, didn't feel awkward. Just that was life.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, unbelievable. There's a lesson in that. I mean, kids are so naturally resilient. You know, you often see young kids with some kind of affliction or ailment, and I don't know. Just there's definitely a lesson there for all of us, I think, in that. But it's remarkable, the natural resilience that people have with the circumstances in that situation. But it certainly hasn't, or doesn't seem to have affected your mobility, upper body strength, or any of those things at all in your latter years.
No, I walk a bit funny, but that's all.
Yeah, and even that, mate, not noticeable.
No.
You know, you don't sort of look at you and think, you know, what's going on there. It's just a small affliction. And do you think that's what gave you the sort of predisposition to be focused on upper body strength, on arms, on...
No, because in the beginning I was training it very good with my left foot. It was stronger than my right.
Really?
When I played soccer. Okay. Yeah.
So you were left-footed, were you?
No.
Okay, you're right-footed, but you just got stronger. Yeah.
To get it working. So.
Okay. And how old were you when you were playing football, mate?
I was 8 to 10, 11-ish.
Mm-hmm. Pretty remarkable, really, that. The fact that you had partial paralysis at 6 years old, and at 8 you were playing football.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I was one of the quickest guys as well. So.
Are you still a fan now? Do you watch football now, or are you
No.
No interest. Yeah. So come on, let's delve into the minds of Frode Haugland. Obviously, we know you don't like French bikini waitresses. So outside of that, mate, what are the interests outside of from a sporting perspective? Let's start with. Do you have interest in other sports outside of strength sport, outside of arm wrestling? What would your next choice be to watch?
I don't really watch anything else. Just arm wrestling. Yeah.
Wow.
I see some UFC fights. Mm-hmm. Occasionally, when I'm with friends, I watch football, but I don't get anything from it. I watch, really, I don't watch anything. It's really, I work.
So what's your sort of, do you have any hobbies or anything like that outside?
Training and, work.
My God, you're a grafter. Now, one interesting fact, you built a lot of your house, didn't you?
Yeah. I did, I have around 2,000 hours in the house.
You put 2,000 hours into your house?
9 months.
I'm not sure there's anything I could do for 2,000 hours, Frode. I know that you can smile for more than 2,000 hours. I'll tell you. Have you ever actually been offered a sponsorship by a toothpaste company?
No.
Because if you haven't, talk about, imagine that, Arm and Hammer. Can you imagine if Arm and Hammer WAL, Hammer, Arm and Hammer, and you smiling like a bastard all the time? You're the type of guy who gets out of a shower, stands on the end of his own dick, and smiles. You're not being drawn, are you? Right, next one. Here we go, on the questions thing. We had Nicholas Nanastad on the other day. the Steel Giraffe. A guy you know a great deal about. Obviously, you guys have gone at it, son. You have gone at it over the years. And the question came to me via PM. Please ask Frode if he believes that Nicholas Nanestad is his arch nemesis, his toughest rival. And if not, who is?
Alright, so in Armwrestling, yes, he was that. He was my toughest. So always was 3-3. The last time I kind of closed it with the left hand, and I took the title from him.
Yeah. In Sweden, well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh,
it felt bad actually when I
know it did. I could see that. I saw that. Actually, because you and Nicholas are mates, aren't you? You know, you're pretty tight. And I could see that there wasn't a celebration from you. You sort of won, but you didn't relish the win, did you?
Wasn't, I really wanted it to go 3-3, to be, continue on that road.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah, Nicholas, spoke very highly of you, mate, the other day. If you do catch those shows, he was, very complimentary of you. Have you ever had any, proper rivalry, heated rivalry with anyone? Is there anyone that you don't just smile at?
No.
No, I didn't think there was. You're like the Norwegian version of Craig Sanders. There's another one who always smiles, just never stops smiling. So, we want to wind the clock forward from where we were last time.
Yeah.
Okay, I hope I haven't missed anybody's questions. If I have, I really do apologise. And if they come back to me, I'll fire them back into Frode. But wanted to go forward to the World Armwrestling League now, and your involvement in introduction to the World Armwrestling League. Just give everybody a bit of an indication about how that came about, mate. What was your sort of first involvement in our lead up to the World Armwrestling League?
So, I can't remember the first one. But we watched the Game of Arms.
Mm-hmm.
That was the build-up, right?
Yeah, same sort of setup, same planning.
Okay. Then we had the European qualifiers.
Mm-hmm.
I watched, there was 1 or 2 seasons before we got to qualify.
The North American Supermatch Series, yeah, and then they didn't open the gates to Europeans, and the first time they did...
Giannis was there a year before.
Yes, but he went to the US to qualify.
Yes. Okay.
Giannis actually went out to the States, or was out in the States, qualified in the States, came home to Latvia, went back out again to the States, came back, and then went for the finals, and won. Right. In fact, the first year, he got his ass handed to him. First time.
Was that the time he lost against Justin Bishop?
He lost... No, that was UAL. Oh. He lost Jeff Hale.
Jeff Hale? Okay.
Yes. Yeah, he was beaten by Jeff Hale. Was one of his notable losses. The next time he went and lost, he lost the qualifier through a serious injury to his thumb, which was in a match against Cobra Rhodes. The exploding thumb technique of Cobra Rhodes. As they slipped into the strap and Cobra drove on his thumb, and it ripped his thumb open, which is so unusual and horrific, really. But it was sort of a learning process for Giannis, and I was going to ask you about the same thing. Obviously, you did the qualifier, the Europeans, Norwegian qualifier first. How'd that go?
I won it.
Comfortable or hard? Pretty good. Okay. And then we moved forward to the European Super Qualifier in the UK. Give me some breakdown on that, Frode.
Okay, so I had Nicholas, Glenn, Paul Maiden, and
Andy Huffner was in there as well, wasn't he?
Andy Huffner, yeah. That was
Maynard Nenches.
Nenches, yeah. And Tobias from Denmark.
Yeah.
So it was
there was a couple of other guys in there that were flying below the radar as well. There were some strong lads from Sweden that showed up and aren't usually on the radar.
I don't remember his name, but yeah. So it was a tough competition. I think I won the right hand.
I think you won both.
I did?
I think you won both.
No. I lost 2-1 to Nicholas in left hand, I think.
Did you? I thought you won both. Anyway, maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe, yeah. I can't remember. but it felt good. Yeah, I won left hand.
Yeah, I think you won both farms. Yeah. But, because I seem to recall a still photo with your 2 medals that I have somewhere. Anyway, there it is. But would you say from a sort of form perspective, you were in really good shape at that point?
I think I've been better. And
this is what I was trying to draw out, because I remember, and I know you don't say this kind of stuff, you're the guy who says nothing and sits quietly, but I remember on the lead up to that, your elbows were pretty shagged, weren't they? You were saying like, not great timing, I'm really struggling. You were struggling to train. And I know you don't like making excuses for yourself, mate, but it's not really excuses. It's fact. That's what you were telling me at the time. You were like worried about it before the competition and yet to win.
Yeah. So, had some struggles.
Give us a bit of a background on what you were experiencing, Frode.
On the competition, or?
No, in terms of the injuries.
Well, it's just soreness.
Is it sort of a common recurring injury? All we hear from John Brzezinski, he talks about the labour and things like that. Do you have any recurring injury, or is it just wear and tear, do you think?
It's wear and tear. There was a moment when I trained heavy all the time, like every second day. I did like Ryan Bowen tries to do.
Okay, yeah.
1 rep max and red line training really. And then I got sore arms. I lost 27% mobility in my arms, so I could kings move. But that was painful. Mm-hmm. But it went away when I stopped training so heavy. So it's
So when you went out to the finals, let's talk about your experience at the finals, the one that Nanastad won on the left arm. You had some bad luck in that draw, dude.
Yeah, right arm was just bad. I got completely set up by the tables, where the table felt wider, so when you hold the peg, felt like you stood like this. Mm-hmm. It was just awkward. And then I missed the start against what's his name?
It wasn't Moshe, was it?
No.
Who got you on the first one?
Some older dude.
I'm trying to think back to your matches. Who the hell you? Because I remember the match with Cheliaris.
That was
left-handed. I think right arm.
I want to say Sil, but it wasn't him. It was Bill Sinks.
Oh, it was Sinks.
Yes.
Okay.
So I got stuck in a dead wrist. My arm was done after that, so I can't remember if I won the next one or whatever. It was a bad day, right hand. Left hand, I felt good. I was hoping to win. Mm-hmm. Felt like I could do it. And then, the matches went well until I met, what's his name? The match I had before, Solaris.
Not Quinlan, was it?
No. It was,
US puller, yeah?
Yes. He went up a bit in weight after that. Well, I missed the start, so he took my wrist. I got back. He elbow fouled, and restart, did the same again. So my wrist was a bit blown up. I won that match. I had to run to the class was on 2 or 3 tables at the time. Okay. So I had to run to the next table to pull Solaris, and then we pulled 3 or 4 matches.
Now that was the thing that people don't know. The fact that you finished arm wrestling on one table and literally had to go immediately from that table to pull Michael Sliaris.
Yeah, I feel like if I had
now
30 seconds more,
I remember on the day I got into quite an argument that day about that because of the schedule and so on. But I got into an argument with some of the members of staff from World Arm Wrestling League and from the organising committee, saying that's nuts. You can't let that. That's ridiculous. The guy has literally just finished arm wrestling and he's straight back on arm wrestling. We're not talking. There was no rest. You know.
Yeah, the Solaris match was on the main table, so there was no waiting.
No.
So it was straight into it. So that's unfortunate, but yeah, this is what it is. And then I had Glenn Banks on straight after that.
Yeah,
that was blown up. So yeah.
Yeah. So not the best day at the office for you, but no consequence because you made a big enough impression with your usual battling, grinding style. Next thing you know, super matches.
Yeah.
So who was your first super match within World Arm Wrestling League? You're great with names. Has anybody ever told you?
Yeah. I suck with
names. When you met your now wife, when you met her, I hope that Christ you didn't like wake up the morning after you're like.
Luckily,
what did we do? Did we? You wouldn't be married to her now. I'll tell you that.
True. No, I suck with names. That's one of my weaknesses.
You still do it. You come downstairs like morning after you got married. Did you come downstairs and go, can I call you Mrs. X?
Future X.
Why with her to that one?
No, I think it was Solaris.
Okay.
First.
Yeah, the revenge match.
Yeah. So right hand battle, yeah.
How'd that go?
That was 3-0 to me.
And did you feel at that time that you were, I mean, it looked like you were comfortable.
Oh yeah, I was. I even let him have a restart at this in a last match where he fouled out. And I got him. Yeah. No, I felt comfortable. I felt good.
And from Michael, who was your next one? Or was it the Battleground?
That was the Battleground. Yeah.
Now that was an interesting day, wasn't it? Because you in the first round you pulled Quinlan Mendez.
Yes.
Many people had that on paper as being an absolute barnstorming, career-ending death war. He went after you, didn't he? He went after you aggressively.
Yeah. That was, well, there was a lot of fouls in the match, so that kind of sucked. But we ended up in some battles, so fun match. Yep.
How did Quinlan feel? Was he dangerous or
yeah, he felt strong, and he uses the entire table or pad.
Yep.
And so it's hard to hold on, and yeah, he felt strong. It's difficult to know where he's coming.
Yeah.
Especially with the new setup when it's close it down, does a grip go, because you can't feel where they're gonna apply that.
Yeah, you've no sort of indication on the angle and the direction on the vector. As we met Ryan, it's all about the vectors. Yes. So Quinlan Mendez, obviously a bit of a warrior, but you got into a scrap with him. That put you in a bit of a precarious situation because on the other side of the bracket was your old mate, the Steel Giraffe.
Yeah.
Who told me the other day that was one of the worst days arm wrestling he's ever had. Felt like he was just not there that day. And it looked like it, didn't it?
Yeah.
It looked like it wasn't him.
Yeah, it looked. It surprised me that the match ended like it did.
Yeah, it surprised me also. But you were heavily, heavily blown up after your pull with Quinlan.
Yeah.
Michael ran through Nicholas. Like, the match didn't stop, did it? It was just crack, done. So, how'd that feel going in against Mike for that third time?
Yeah, that... like... that was I tried to just press the first two matches.
Mm-hmm.
The first one I lost because he got on his side, and then I got on my side. Just to get some more time on my arm to maybe get some feeling back. And then we got in a battle, stopped him. Then he did this massive foul where I got 2 fouls from it. A weird situation. I feel like if he didn't do that, I feel like I could pin him, but I wanted to bleed him.
Yes.
So that was a mistake. And after that, it just cracked my arm completely when he did that. So.
Yeah, when he did the 3-foot elbow foul.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I mean, I actually think on fouls like that, when it's so intentional and when you're in straps and people know what they're doing, I actually think that should be a little more than a foul. I'm thinking disqualification and loss in there, honestly, because you're not doing a foul like that to, that's not from a professional arm wrestler. That's not you know what you're doing. Yeah. It's like a nut shot in fact, you know exactly what you're doing and you know what damage you're trying to inflict on your opponent. It's a strategic move, but it's sinister in my opinion. I don't like that.
No, it's a bad move.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
It really does. It sucks. But I mean, you got to give Michael credit. He's an excellent arm wrestler.
Yeah, he's smart.
Definitely cut from the cloth of he'll do anything to win. There's no doubt about that. He'll win at all costs. Which Devon's been on him many times and sort of an advocate of that. Michael Todd, a bit of an advocate of that, although I remember a match with Michael Todd and Tommy Cockera, when Tommy Cockera did a similar thing at the Trafford Centre and dropped off the back of the table and dropped all his body weight onto Michael's arm. Michael was incensed. He said, "You trying to break my arm?" He's trying to break my arm. And he was like, "Okay, it's off now." Oh, started wooing on his ass. It was on. It turned into an entertaining match as a result of that, but Michael was genuinely incensed.
Yeah, I remember.
Tommy had tried to. You remember that, yeah?
Yeah.
Anyway, so I want to talk to you about some of the guys that are in the World Arm Wrestling League, mate. Your opinions of them, your aspirations, who you'd like to face. I mean, the guy. Let's start at the sort of the end where guys are coming in and trying to make a name. Obviously, there's a great deal of arm wrestlers within the World Arm Wrestling League fringes, but the guys that are in there and sort of battling away now, the guys you faced, you've got obviously Mendez, you've got Celiaris. Let's talk about a teammate of Quinlan Mendez, very, very powerful puller, real rugged individual, Joel Hudick. Because Joel, I think, would love a piece of you as well.
Yeah.
How do you see Joel Hudick?
I've seen him pull a few times. I can't really. Yeah. So at first time you posted something about that match or proposed the matches.
Yeah.
The first match I saw, I remember from him. I can't remember who he pulled, but I felt like, okay, it's gonna be a good match for me. I'm gonna win it quite comfortably. It's gonna be a war. And then I started digging more. I see he's done quite well.
He's strong.
Yeah. So I gotta train hard. It's gonna be a good match, I think, if it's gonna happen.
He's got good endurance as well, Joel.
Yeah. All those older, solid guys that can pull for quite some time.
So is that's a match that you would relish? It's a match you would enjoy?
Yeah. I like the wars when I gotta grind it out.
Yeah, I know that 100%. Interesting information. One guy I'd like to see come back into the World Arm Wrestling League or come back and make a debut in the World Arm Wrestling League would be the rock star Jake Smith, and that's a guy that you've got history with. Now that would be fun, wouldn't it? yourself and Jake, you know.
A rematch left hand or right hand, that's that matter.
Be an absolute screamer, I'm sure of it. But let's look at current roster guys, mate. I want to speak to you about this young man because a lot of hype around him for a lot of time, and he's often underrated, and and I think he's a very similar character to you in a lot of ways. He's very different, but the same in terms of his rugged outlook on things. He's a very principled person. That's Justin Bishop of Bamable. Tell me what you know about that guy.
He pinned me in 2007. Mm-hmm. In the cancelled event. I watched a lot of his matches. The first time I noticed him was when he won against Giannis.
Yeah. I think most people, he came onto everybody's radar there because he's got the charisma. He's the guy, you know. He's got the heart and the look and and he's confident and brash. I love him. I think Justin's ace. One of my favourite players.
Yeah, he's a good man. I like him.
He's a good dude, isn't he?
Yeah.
Him and his whole family, actually, his dad, his brothers, they're all real peeps.
I met this, was Justin pulling on the MGM brand?
I think I know for a fact that Tony pulled in Arm Wars not at the MGM though, not on top of the MGM. It was when we did it at the Expo.
Right,
yeah, when we.
I think I met Tony at the MGM. But
on the route watching.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Oh, okay.
He gave me a chocolate bar.
See, told you he was a good dude.
Yeah.
Can't knock a man that gives you, no way. Have that. Snickers, have it.
So,
Instant brownie points from a Norwegian, that, innit?
Yeah.
So, Bishop, what do you think?
I would like a match with him. I felt like when he beat me, he surprised me a bit in the start, and my arm went, and I had to let it go.
Was that left or right, Frode?
Left.
It was left arm. Okay.
Yeah, didn't pull in right hand, I think. So I would like a match with him. I think that would be interesting. Depends on. It's really good on a top roll. So
yeah, you've got great hand and wrist.
Yeah, on the wall pads, it's harder to hold on to those guys because they get so far back. 9-inch pad.
Yep.
So we'll see, but I think it's a good match.
So strategically, that'd have to be a good look for you because you think that a win over Justin will put you up the pecking order. And one guy that is always thinking strategically, and your name comes out of his mouth a great deal, is a newcomer to the World Armwrestling League from the Oceanic region, Ryan Bowen. Now, he has spoken to me on this show, on other shows, and privately about the fact that he would absolutely love a crack at you. Is he on your radar? Do you sort of have any opinions of Ryan?
Yes. Like I follow his channel. I need somebody to train with, and in these times when we can't go to the gym, I'm not allowed to arm wrestle. I hate training alone. I can't push myself. I just
go through the motions without actually making progress.
So I actually used him as a motivation because he's pushing it all the time. So I started a competition in my head against him on the lifts he did and stuff like that.
How's it going? The competition?
Good.
You win, they lose.
He's good.
So stylistically, what do you think with Ryan? Do you think he's a good match for you stylistically? Do you think
I think he prefers the top roll. Every time you see him in a match, that's where he starts out.
Yeah.
Most of us. Yeah. So depends. He got some lifts where we are equal or give and take. Yeah, similar. So depends on where it's going to go. I will always let him pull where he's strongest. So if I feel like I have control over him, so he's going to get his chance to sit there and grind and try all his moves.
Does his endurance worry you at all? Do you think he's got?
Like right now, yes.
About endurance, he feels like he can go all day, you know.
I've seen him pull with the Reacher and all these guys, but I feel like I know he's training a lot, so maybe he can't do the same as I do, but I feel like they're missing some intensity in the training.
Okay.
I want more. It feels like they're on 80-70%.
Do you go nearer to the red line?
For a longer time. Then I feel like I can stay red line longer than he can.
Yep.
So if we're equal, it will.
You're that guy that everybody wants to arm wrestle, aren't you?
Yeah.
I mean, you get talked about everybody. I mean, on the Fix, the show that have you ever seen the Fix?
Yeah, I've seen most of the shows.
A show that I do, for those who haven't seen it, guys, if you're new to the channel, I have a weekly show. In fact, we're going to be recording it later this afternoon. There's an idea just popped right into my head there, and we'll talk about that when we finish this call. But, the Fix is the resident guests on the Fix are Ryan Bowen and Ryman's Life Bench. Now, Ryman's is another guy who is very intrinsically linked to you. Because you had a super match scheduled. COVID came, destroyed everybody's life, and destroyed the chances of that super match. Tell me what you know about an experience you have had with Raymond's Life-Ins.
We had a 2-3 hour long practice session. Mm-hmm. We pulled quite a bit. We filmed most of it, so it's out there. He is a guy that pulls the way I used to pull before I did more worse stuff. Mm-hmm. It's a young me. So dives in, shoulder press, he's strong. I felt confident going into the match. I see he's training hard. He gets to arm wrestle, I don't. Right now, probably lose to both of them. But I'll be back on the horse again soon. Yeah.
So you feel like if you can, and would you like to, when you come out of the lockdown period, or you are able to train, I think it's only fair that you give yourself a fighting chance here, because our eyes are on you, people are watching you. So results do matter in that respect. So are you going to give yourself a time to prepare properly?
My travel restrictions are lifted, so I can actually go for almost all of Europe. I can't go to Sweden, but most of Europe.
Okay.
So I was actually just yesterday thinking about going to train somewhere, and but it feels stupid to go down to Ryman's to train with him when I have a match. But maybe, or maybe I come to the UK. Mm-hmm. I don't know. We'll see. But whenever people want to pull me, I'm ready.
Yeah, I think people would love to see you in the UK, mate. They really would. I mean, of those two opponents, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think is the more difficult match for you? Style, I'm talking style. Forget sort of, style, all the factors, endurance, and all preparation elements, if we can sort of negate those and just look at stylistically who you'd rather pull and who do you believe represents a bigger threat to you?
So I think Raymonds have a better what do you call it? Like a one move.
Silver Bullet. He's the guy with
So you have to be on point. If you let him get over your arm, it's going to be real difficult to pull him back up.
He's like a 200 kilo bench presser, isn't he? So huge, strong.
So that's always a worry. If you can't stop it, then you at least have to be quicker and get him out of it. And then Ryan, I don't know. I've never touched him, so it's difficult to know, and it's difficult to know what kind of level he is at.
It's funny, isn't it? Because a lot of the opinions have obviously varied a lot. Some people thought that Ryan was all hype, and Ryan was this, Ryan was that, but I can tell you Ryan Bowen's for real.
Yeah, I know.
Really pushing. Yeah. And he's had access to a lot of technical knowledge, but he's not wasted it. No. He's a smart boy.
Yeah, he's doing good. So it's going to be exciting. For me, it's a more like it's more exciting to go into a match where you can go everywhere. And you gotta think every move you do, and be careful. You can't let him work too much. It's small things that makes the difference. Yeah. And so it's an interesting match.
If you were sort of picking one that you'd like to face, who would it be? Things are going.
Both, but first I have a match with Raymonds, so
you want to finish that because it's unfinished business, type of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it's I'll take all the YouTubers. I go for I'm a schoolboy again.
Yeah, no, he looks a bad mate. That's
he looks.
I'll tell you now. And he's getting better. A serious arm wrestler, schoolboy. There's no doubt about that. But moving back to the focusing on the World Arm Wrestling League, I want to speak to you about one other guy before we start to talk about championship potential. And that guy is none other than Paul Lynn. Paul Lynn is sort of like champion-elect in many people's eyes. He's the guy that everybody thinks should get the shot at Rob Vigeant Jr. However, in single match competition, you've got a very successful record also. Do you agree with that? Do you think that Paul is deserving? Or would you like to shot at Paul?
Well, I would like a shot at him, but I think I can do a ladder before that. Because he looks strong. I don't know, like he looks stiff as well. Like he's not that mobile on the table. I don't know if that's correct but he's like one of those guys that has
rigid a lot of strength.
Yeah, gym strength, you know. So, and those are always difficult to pull. If their hand and wrist are solid, I kind of struggle with these just rock strong guys.
Yeah.
No, when there's no giving in the hand.
So in other words, you've almost got to be stronger than he. You know what I mean? It's like forces you down that strength path, doesn't it? Really.
Yeah.
Particularly, he's probably got a bit longer levers. He's probably got more weapons in that respect than you are. I would imagine, having, seen Paul and yourself. I think he's a slightly bigger man.
It looks big. I can't remember if I've met him, but on camera.
You know what? Me and Paul have never met. I've never met Paul in person yet. I'll really look forward to, but we've not met in person yet. But man's a beast.
Yeah.
I think we may have been in the same venue on the same day, but didn't cross paths.
Yeah.
I think when I was commentating on a different sport of the Arnold Classic, and I was watching him pull, and he pulled Craig Touye, and he scared the living daylights out of Craig Touye. But I went over to the arm wrestling to watch. I couldn't stay. I had to go work, so I had to get out of there, carry on with what I was doing. But that's when Paul first really came on my radar. I remember he was the name that I took away from the event, thinking, "Who the f*** is this guy?" You know.
Yeah. It's a long time ago, right?
Oh yeah, there's a few. I'll bet it's 3 years, 3 years ago. Yeah. Maybe more. I don't know. But yeah, that was the first time he really came on my radar in terms of, whoa, you know, this guy's serious. And as I say, we never spoke that day. It was just, I went over, checked out the arm wrestling, he was there. I spoke to a few people, they said, "Oh yeah, Paul, yeah, he's bad mother fluffer." And he obviously is. I spoke to him many, many times since, you know, online. He's been on the show. Absolutely salt of the earth guy all the time. And I don't think anybody can say a bad word about Paul. He's just a lovely guy. And clearly an athlete.
Yeah.
Absolute athlete. You know, looks like he's been carved out of Zeus's tooth. He's just a rock.
Yeah.
You know.
Solid.
So, before I let you jump off here, mate, I want to close it up by talking about the champion. And you stay quiet on this subject. You never really weighed in. I know he's got massive respect for you and asked about you when we right back on High Stakes, when you were pulling there. He showed interest in you then and said, you know, Frode looks seriously strong, which you clearly are in your positions there. But I wanted to sort of come back and ask you the same thing the other way around. How good is Rob Vigeant Jr.?
He's very good. Like, I watched, he impressed me when he beat Productions. He pulls, he's very good. He might open a bit his arm, but I feel he's so strong as well. So I think I have a long way to go before I can take him.
Deal with Rob, yeah. That's a very, very real, very honest, and very humble answer, as I'd expect from you, mate. But
I like to pull with him on a practice table just to feel.
Yeah, sure.
But I think he's too strong.
Yeah, he's serious. He really is very, very serious. I think, in my opinion, I mean, Rob's one of my favourite arm wrestlers as well. I think he's underrated. People say he's overrated. I don't think he's overrated. I think he's underrated. I think if Rob got the right tuition, the right access to technique and real training partners that could raise his game and focus on him, mate, I'd love that motherfucker to live down the road from me. You know what I mean? He's a weapon.
Yeah.
You could weaponize that kid big time. You know what I mean? And he'd just roll him out and take him to events in a fucking box and just bust the lid off and let him out and terrorize the place. He's just an animal. Got it all going on. Got every weapon you could possibly. And he's smart. He's nuts, but he's smart. Can really pull. Thinks about his arm wrestling. Just a friggin' savage. Only thing he lacks is a bit of confidence and self-belief. If he's motivated, self-belief, get off the tracks.
Yeah, no, he is. Good, dude.
So, mate, we've been on here for nearly 50 minutes and got an idea. In about an hour's time, I film the fix. And I got Ryan and I got Raymond's, and they have no idea that you could pop on that show. What do you think?
Yeah, it could be fun.
Hoping you'd say that, Tom. We can make this a very entertaining evening for Ryan Bowen and so on. And we love to bring a surprise. So, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of this focus on Relentless. Frode Haugland, I want to say a massive thank you to Frode for joining us on the show, mate. Thank you very much. Thanks for wearing the t-shirt. You're a bad man. You're looking very chiseled, very beautiful. And I look forward to seeing you again this fine day where we can rustle the feathers of Raymond. And you better not be shy as well when you come on that.
No.
None of that shyness rubbish. Get into them. Remember, you win. There you go, son. Guys, if this is your first visit to the Supernatural Strength channel and you like what we do, please get out there, tell your friends, make signposts, paint it on walls, and subscribe, like, and share. Ladies and gents, crazy times out there. Hope you and your families are staying safe. Until we see you again back here on Supernatural Strength, take it easy, peeps.